Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover a lot of facts into the JFK assassination and eliminate every possible location, as you've seen in my other videos, of gunmen that they claimed over the years and here recently on who took the fatal headshot to JFK. But first, before we get into it, I want to apologize. I haven't been on YouTube in the past week. It's because my allergies been up and been sick. Plus, at the same time, I'm driving here and there in Ohio and down in Lexington and Louisville, hunting for rifles and stuff like that for my documentary that I'm making right now, and getting other things done instead of for that. I got all the rifles and stuff now, so that's all taken care of and everything else. Just hard time finding. I've been very sick, like I said, because my allergies being up and humidity being high as it was and everything else like that just made everything worse for me. But I'm doing okay now, and like I said, I want to make this video here. I want to go into the location of the gunman and point out the facts into it and show people, no shots could have came from these locations. All right, I made videos on this stuff before, but now we're going to put it all into one. As I point out in my research, and as I always do, this is the way we have to look at it when we do an investigation to this kind of a case. Okay, like I said, years when people done their testings on the location of their gunmen, okay, they place the vehicle on a flat surface. They have one subject or two subjects in a vehicle, and that's it. But as I point out and as I show in my research, okay, I look at the facts, and the facts were there were 6 people in a limo, and it was positioned differently, as you see right here. So I took this in consideration. Also took in consideration that, hey, they was going to downgrade too, because Elm Street's a downgrade. So we had to take that also in consideration. We also had to take consideration that there was people on both sides of JFK's limo, which we also would block, as you see here. When someone's standing up and JFK sitting down in his limo, as a car's going by, as a limo going by, there's people standing there, and you got to figure out, the location of these gunmen. But they never do this. They only just, like I said, work on one subject or two subjects in a vehicle, and then they just place it as the vehicle going straight, but not in downgrade or anything else. We also have to take a look at consideration as well that that Elm Street is not a straight road. It's a windy road somewhat. So we have to take that consideration, the angle of the car and the position of the car when the fatal headshot was taken. Now, what I'm going to do here is, as I pointed out, there's a lot of things you have to look at when you're doing an investigation. Okay, now there's a lot of claims out there of certain locations where people put the gum in and everything else like that. Me analyzing all the films and images, looking at the facts into this case, looking over everything, and going to Dealey Plaza and looking at all this, okay, gives you more perspective, plus gives you more of what you're looking at and what to consider as you're doing it, okay. And we can officially say now, okay, we can officially eliminate all the things I'm about to show you, the locations. We can officially eliminate all that, because I know over the years people will pick one picture up or two pictures up, or even say a story, a story they'll tell us, and that's it. Okay, there's no actual facts or evidence to back it up, but they just want to tell us a story. So when I went there, I wasn't looking for a story. I was looking over the facts. I was looking over evidence. Okay, there's a lot of locations, okay, which I'll pull up in this map right here for a minute, and I'll show you. As you see here, there's a lot of locations right where these X's are. Now these X's I placed here, which I'll go into more detail on why they're X'd out, but these are the locations that people claim the fatal headshot came from, or the gunman or the assassin was at. Was the Daltex building, behind the Pelagora here, between the Pelagora and the picket fence, behind the picket fence, drain, the overpass or underpass, or the south side, or the sewer drain there, or even Mrs. Kennedy or Governor Connolly inside JFK's limo. Now, Like I said, that's all the locations that these people are telling us these stories. But like I said, there's no evidence to back it up. As I pointed out, when it comes to the gunman beside of between the shelter and the picket fence area, they're saying that this is the gunman here, and they show a clear image, but the clear image is actually a man, a stand-in, aiming a rifle. Okay, that's not a real assassin there during that time. That image was probably taken probably I would say in the 90s or maybe early 2000s, that someone did a stand-in and pointing a rifle and added him into the film, added himself into the film or something like that. But like I said, it's the shadow that we're seeing on this building here. So I went to Dealey Plaza and I point out this location. This is where the gunman will be standing. Where's he going to be shooting at? So see, we can eliminate that now. That's a fact. We can eliminate this, completely gone. That story of a gunman between the picket fence and the shelter is false information. Now we can also eliminate the so-called badge man. Now everybody was sitting and talking about the badge man and stuff like that. So we went ahead and, as you see right here, here's the picket fence right here. We're behind the picket fence. We're taking this image and stuff like that. As you see here, remember, there's three gentlemen standing right here. JFK was shot on the other side of this retaining wall here. As you see from the badge man's view now, he had no clear shot. So there was nobody having taken a shot from this location. Even they said, even the badge man, can't take a shot from this location. And they also placed a Charles Harrelson in this location. As you see, there's no possible way that he can have a shot from this location anywhere from this point here, okay, straight down, because remember, you got this tree right here, and you got Mrs. Pruder, Mrs. Esmus down the wall here. So there is no way that he can have a shot to JFK from this location. They said Charles Harrison was right in this location. That's a false information. He could not take a shot from here. The badge man cannot take a shot from here. So that eliminates all that. Now they said the shot came from the overpass or down here because they said the windshield was hit. As I pointed out in my research, this windshield did not have a bullet hole in it. Okay, which I'll pull up these two images here. Okay. And we line this up, and I've lined this up as myself. I lined this up. Okay. This is not a bullet hole. It's actually a bullet fragment stuck inside the windshield. We can tell this because when we look at this section right here, and then this is the close-up, as you see right here where my cursor is, that's right here. Okay, see this crack coming across here and crack up going this way and a crack going this way and across here? That's this right here. That's this right here. That's this right here. Okay, and that's this one going along here. This is a close-up of this crack that's inside the windshield on JFK's limo. The bullet fragment stuck on the inside of JFK's limo. There is no bullet holes, which indicates no frontal shot through the windshield, as researchers want to point out and push that issue, but it's again false information. And as I pointed out, by being there, for a gunman to be able to take a shot, he would have to be right in this location right here where James Tague was standing, which everybody knows, and even eyewitness account says no shots came from this location, or even this location. No shots were even fired from this location. No one's never even heard shots from this location. Okay, so you have dozens and dozens of eyewitnesses. Now people want to keep on saying, well, what about all these eyewitnesses said this, what about these eyewitnesses that did say this or say that, like no shots came from this location? But nobody wants to believe that. Okay, they want to call them people liars, so they don't want to believe them eyewitnesses, but they want to believe the other eyewitnesses who claim they seen a gunman behind a picket fence. You see what I'm saying? But no one's reported, even James Tague never reported a shot coming from behind him or above him. Okay, he heard him far off to his left when he's standing right here. And that place is over there by the shelter, number 3. So see, now we're eliminating a lot of stuff. Now a lot of people says, well, we got the gunman behind the Pelagoro there. Again, we can see there is no way a gunman could take a shot from this location. Plus, being behind here, you're open up to everybody's view. By standing right behind here taking a shot, you open up for everybody's view. So again, the assassin wouldn't have no cover from behind have cover from the front, but he won't have cover from behind. And any true assassin will make sure they weren't covered in from front, back, and sides. Okay, so we're eliminating that. Then we're also going to talk about this right here. As you've seen in my video and stuff like that, we're going to move this X. Like I said, here's the X here. So we have to move the X up here because this is where the fatal headshot occurred in this location here, not here. This gunman here cannot have a clear shot from here. The gunman cannot have a clear shot to fire over here. As you watch my cursor, fire over here because they have the X right here. But the fatal headshot occurred over here. And there's no way a gunman in this location, in the sewer drain, could take a shot from this location and make contact with JFK, especially with sitting inside of a car, inside of the car. Okay, so basically if I'm sitting here, the side of the car would be right here. So that bullet would have to come up and then over. Okay, it's going to have to make a U-turn to hit JFK from this location. So we can eliminate this for a fact as well. Now, a lot of people says, well, we have the driver, Greer did it. Okay, now they'll use this frame 313. They say the driver, Greer did it. They say Governor Connally shot JFK and Mrs. Kennedy shot JFK. Okay, right here, they said this is the gun that driver Greer is holding, which we can see Greer's hands right here on the steering wheel. This is a reflection from the guy's forehead and hair right here. This is not a gun. Mr. Governor Connally is looking off to his right. Okay, he's between right and going to his left at the same time, as you see right here. Now, they said he's pushing a button or he turned around and took his shot, which again, that's all false information. We see Mrs. Kennedy here. We have one arm right here. Excuse me. Gotta take a drink. Allergies still kicked up a little bit, not too much. And we have Mrs. Kennedy have one hand right here on JFK's arm. They said she shot JFK. Well, we're going to look at that for a minute. They said she handed her revolver off to JFK. As you see here, here's her hand flat against the trunk. Agent Hill's climbing up on the back. As you see, this is the far she goes right here. Okay, that's the far she goes. Now you see her hand going back. See, now that hand's going back. And his hand's not even touching her yet. She's got one hand again against the trunk here and one hand against trunk here. Now they just said she was handing off her weapon that she had. Again, false information. As I keep on pointing out. Excuse me. As I keep on pointing out. Then, as I pointed out, they said a shot from the south side. Again, we eliminated that because there's no possible way a gunman from this over on the south side here can take a shot to JFK clearly without either striking Mrs. Connally, Mrs. Kennedy, or the driver before he would end up strike, or even Governor Connally before he would even strike and hit JFK. So we have to eliminate this location as well. As you see, plus I want to point out this right here real quick. As you see right here, if Mrs. Kennedy shot JFK, for the bullet exit here, she would have shot him in this location here, which you see he was never shot anywhere on his left side or in front of him or anything else. There is no shots, no bullet holes or anything on the front of JFK or on the left side of JFK. Everything was on the right side, as I pointed out. So as you see here, okay, we eliminate all this stuff as fact now. We know this for fact that there was no gunman in the Dow Tex building. There was no shots coming from that location. We know Mrs. Kennedy, Governor Connally, and driver Greer did not shoot JFK. So that eliminates that location. We know there was no gunman inside the sewer drain here because, like I said, he couldn't even take a shot from this location and strike JFK. Okay, so this eliminates this location. We know there was no shots on the south side. Okay, even though people says in ballistic tests, like I said, they're always talking about a ballistic test, but there was no shots coming from this location, so we eliminated that. And we know there were no shots coming from the overpass or even under the underpass, so we can eliminate all that. And we know no shots came from behind the picket fence area. We eliminate all this. Like I said, not only the films and images show us this facts that there was no gunman in these locations. But even me being there, going over these, studying everything that's in front of me, looking at all different angles, I could prove that no shots came from behind the picket fence as well. Or between the shelter and the picket fence, no shots came from there. Or any shots from behind the Pelagura there, no shots coming from behind there. Because it would never actually have a clear fatal headshot to JFK. So see, these are looking at facts now. And these are the locations that we can eliminate now. That's why I put the X's there. And these X's here is where people put assassin for JFK for the fatal headshot. Now, we're talking about one shot now. They have 3 people in this location supposedly took that fatal headshot. Right here is one. So you got, excuse me, you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 locations right here. 16 locations right here. And 16 people that took that fatal headshot to JFK. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why this case is so messed up. This is why this case was never solved. And this is why people on this side that don't believe in a conspiracy are laughing at people on this side that believes in a conspiracy, because of they got too many different locations for this fatal headshot with no evidence to back it up. Okay. And then as a researcher does, or an investigator or anything else like that, when they go to Dealey Plaza and they stand in these locations where these so-called gunmen were, that's what makes it worse, because they're laughing at them more now, because it says, well, hey, no shots can be taken from here, which I'll pull up this one right here. Let's go with the Badge Man, or the location where Charles Harrelson was at. Now, they're telling us the gunman was in this location here. That's what they've been telling us for years. But then when you go to that location, you stay in that location, and you look at it, you're going to say, well, we know that story is false, so there wasn't no conspiracy, because this story is false. There's no way a gunman could take a clear shot to JFK from this location. So now we eliminate the Badge Man. Now we eliminate Charles Harrelson's location, and we eliminate the Badge Man's location. So now this is a false story. So now we know Harrelson's a false story, and we know the Badge Man's a false story. Okay, so that image that they draw it in Mary Mormon photo right here. Okay, we're looking at the Mary Mormon photo. We'll zoom in this location here. This is where the so-called Badge Man was, right here. Watch my cursor. That's that location where I just showed you. That's where he was standing at. Now they can say, well, all they do is outline him right here, colored it in, say, hey, here's the Badge Man right here. But with that, when a researcher, and I'm talking about a real researcher, goes there and they stay in that location and they pull this up. Okay, they pull this up. Let's bring both of them up here. Okay, which I'll zoom over this way. And let me move this over just a little bit. Okay, here's where the Badge Man's standing at right here. This is where, if you watch my cursor, this is where the Badge Man's located at right here. Let's just see if I can zoom in any more. Okay, like I said, here's that so-called Badge Man, because this is supposedly his face. That's where the rifle's being fired. And, you know, I guess this is supposed to be another man here, another man here. But they outlined it right here, and here's the picket fence here. But actually, the picket fence is down here, which would be a lot lower. If you look at it this way, from this angle, the picket fence be going right here, and he actually be way above the picket fence. But anyway, as you see, no clear shot. He cannot have a clear shot standing right here and take a clear shot here. So when people look at this, they say, well, okay, they said the Badge Man is seen in a Mormon photo. And I'm talking about the people on the non-conspiracy side. They're looking at it and say, well, we got the Mormon photo right here showing a so-called Badge Man as a claim. Well, we go to that location, and this is what we see right here. So they're looking at us like, hey, you're a joke, man. You're a joke. That's what they're telling us, because there's no way a gunman, excuse me. Boy, that congestion is really getting me. This heat it's still a humidity, but still, I'll get through this. Anyway, they're looking at us and say, well, you know, he's got to be crazy, because he says there's a Badge Man here, but when you stand in that location, you're behind that picket fence, as you see here, and you stand right in this exact location, you see he has no clear shot to JFK. So he has to be crazy. This is why they call us crazy. The people that's on the unconspiracy side that don't believe there's a conspiracy, they call people on the conspiracy side crazy because of this. That's why I tell researchers, and that's why I tell people that does their own investigation in this case, look over the facts first. Don't jump the gun. Don't jump to conclusion. Don't sit there and go automatically take one image and say, here's this and here's that. Because when you do that, all you're doing is just making it worse. And it just makes it worse on people when you're trying to pull these facts out and you show this. They're going to say, well, you're a joke, okay? Which JFK assassination is not a joking matter. It's a murder case that we're trying to solve here. Like I said, I want to make this video here to show some facts and stuff like that. We cannot base the information that was told in the past. We cannot base any of that as facts, okay? Because there's no evidence to back it up. As you see here, we have X's on these locations. This automatically shows us that there was no gunman in these locations where these X's are, okay? This is my professional opinion, not only analyzing films and images and showing there's nobody in these locations, but also being there as well and doing my proper investigation, and look at it from every angle as I said I was going to. There was no gunman in any of these locations whatsoever where you see the X's are, because there's no way they could have took that fatal headshot to JFK, any shots to JFK, or even Governor Conley. You see what I'm saying? So this is a fact. In these X areas here, in these locations, no gunman behind a picket fence, no gunman behind a Pelagora, no gunman between the picket fence and shelter number 3. Gunman was in shelter number 3, but I've already explained all that in my other videos. I'm just talking about the locations that other people claim there was a gunman. Mrs. Kennedy did not shoot JFK. Governor Conley did not shoot JFK. The driver Greer did not shoot JFK. The guys in the follow-up car did not shoot JFK. No gunman inside a sewer drain. No shots from anywhere around the triple overpass, above and below. No shots from no gunman on the south side, which is another fact. And no gunman behind the picket fence area. This is all plain facts, and no gunman inside shelter no gunman in the Dow Tex building, excuse me. No gunman in Dow Tex building. So no shots came from any of these locations. This is a fact now. Like I said, not only because the images and film shows us where the true locations of the gunmen were, but being there and studying these locations and going over these facts, okay, just like when they said James Files was behind the picket fence, but as you see here, again, I placed somebody in that location, and we'll bring up the Mormon photo again, and we're going to zoom in on that corner of the picket fence right here. So let's bring the Mormon photo over here. Let's bring up the other image right here. As you see right here, again, as I point out in my research, I looked at these facts. Okay, I look at these facts. I do. And I show people evidence, photographic evidence, real evidence I show. If James Files is behind, oops, sorry. I don't know why I just keep on doing this. I guess it's because it's mouse, even though I got another mouse, but okay, I'll leave it alone just like that. But as you see right here, if James Files was in this corner location as they want to portray it, this is what we should see, but we don't see this. What we see is nobody there. We see this in the Mormon photo. We see this in the Oral Nix film. We see this in the Bronson film. We see this in every image and every film that was filmed that day. There is nobody behind the picket fence area, but they still want to portray that James Files is there. Okay, as you see, these trees and stuff are still there. The fence is there. Well, some of the fence has been replaced, but as you see, this is if there was a guy behind that picket fence, that's what we should see. We don't see that. So you see what I'm saying? There is no gunman in any of these locations, period. This is a fact. No gunman in any of these locations as they want to tell us and as they want to portray it. So, again, as I pointed out, a lot of things in my research stuff, I show facts, okay? I show photographic evidence, and I also talk about the facts into the case. I'm not going to sit there and point out this, point at that, and everything else, and just say, here you go, like everybody else has done. I wanted to make this video here, you know, because like I said, I've been sick for the past week, and, you know, I haven't been on YouTube or nothing like that, but I want to make this and show some more facts into the JFK assassination case. And so we can eliminate it now. We can finally eliminate, at this point in time, 55 years or later, we can eliminate it, that all these locations, no gunman behind a picket fence, no gunman behind the Pelagora, no gunman in Daltex building, no gunman on the south side, no gunman on the overpass or on the triple overpass. Driver Greer, Mrs. Kennedy, Governor Connolly, eliminate them, and the gunman inside the sewer drain there, eliminate him. So all these are been eliminated, and these are all facts. Okay, it's been eliminated by facts and by evidence. Don't forget that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Always in the description down below, you find a site where you can order my book, Evidence of Conspiracy, the only book you ever need in JFK assassination. Again, don't forget that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and share this information and all the other information from my other videos. Thank you. You have a pleasant day.